Within a chosen context, you will draw on your knowledge of inclusive approaches to assessment and of the children you are working with to set out a clear rationale and design for a small-scale inquiry. You will need to give specific consideration to the ethics of this inquiry. Drawing on course inputs and prior assessments, you will identify an approach to assessment that you wish to employ and, in an evidence-based discussion, evaluate the effect of this on learning and teaching. Evidence may include lesson plans, evaluations, prop forms, examples of pupils' work, with permission. From this, you will identify possible next steps for your use of inquiry in your future career.
More families are going to lose loved ones before their time.
It might be 2 weeks' time, it might be 4 months' time, it might be 12 months' time, who knows?
How on earth did it come to this?
Coronavirus came along. It has taken the lives of some and the livelihoods of many, and in my case, it forced my final placement to be cancelled, me to move home from university, and my final university assignment to be done from home. Alongside many of the other people on my course, because of coronavirus, I wasn't able to complete my final investigation while I was on placement. So we were given a slightly altered version of the question, and this video will document the ups and downs of me trying to complete it. Okay, so step one this morning, I'm trying to get my head around this thing. Basically, this was the document that we were given as our initial question before everything else went wrong, and since things have changed, they've given us two kind of alternative approaches if we wanted to use them. So there's one for if we kind of started doing our research but didn't manage to collect everything, and then one for if we didn't start any part of our research. So this is what I'm going off of right now. So what I've done here, this is kind of how I tend to start all of my different assessments. I'll write the assessment question in the middle of the page. So this was our original question that we got given, and then I'll highlight kind of main points of it and write what I think they're expecting around the side. And then this is the bit that's kind of changed for me since I was unable to collect any data. So I've got this little bit here, which obviously has nothing to do with the original question, and then an adapted discussion at the end. We also got a message on Blackboard, which is our university's online learning portal thing, saying that tomorrow afternoon they're going to do a group call discussion thing about this assessment. I don't want to make too much of a start on it until I've spoken things over with the tutors and stuff tomorrow, because I feel that's definitely gonna clear some things up. I feel day one of starting an assessment is always just you're just sat there thinking, I am never going to be able to do this, I have no idea what I'm doing, but then it somehow always seems to come together. So let's hope that happens soon, because I kind of just want to get this thing done and out of the way. It's group call time, baby. I've got all of my setup here, ready to make corrections where necessary. I have never done one of these before. I am very intrigued, I'm not gonna lie. Ooh, join session.
I think that's a really important issue that you've raised, Emily, and it's one I think that's causing quite a bit of concern for quite a lot of people.
Okay, bye folks.
Bye. I have to work out how to get out.
I know.
Click on the arrow, then go for leave session.
Oh, wait a minute. I'll find my way out, don't worry.
Hello guys, today it is Thursday morning. I woke up this morning feeling pretty optimistic and prepared for this. Basically, after we had our little kind of group call thing yesterday, I had so many ideas flying around my brain, and I didn't know which route I was going to go down, and I just thought rather than trying to do anything else, I'm just going to let it sit, sleep on it, and then kind of try and batter in a bit more today. And I actually feel I have a slight idea of what I'm going to do now. Obviously, before I went on placement, I kind of knew what I wanted to look into, and I started to form different things and the inquiry that I wanted to do, but that was all cut short. So then when things started to get rejigged around with the assessment, that threw me off again. But I feel I'm now back on some kind of thought train here. So I've just sat this morning and I've kind of typed out what I need to include in my assessment. I've gone over this again, which I was adding to yesterday as we were in our little group call thing. I've written down some more ideas on the back and I've just kind of typed them out onto a bit of a Word document just so that I know what kind of structure I'm working towards. So as you can see here, I've got my kind of like main section, so like my introduction, my literature review, my kind of method, so I can like start pulling little bits that I've previously done and put them under the right headings, and then it just keeps everything kind of organised and in the one place. I'm just like trying to get all of my thoughts in order here. I then spent the preceding few days, minus the weekend, getting started with some reading. I was looking at different articles, policy documents, just getting a better idea of what I was doing and gathering some evidence. Until... I'm having a bad day today. I'm having a bad day. I'm stressed and I'm sad and I'm unmotivated and I feel disgusting. Also, I'm freezing cold, but by the looks of my face, I'm boiling. I hate this so much. I'm struggling so hard to concentrate on anything remotely academic focus right now, and it's stressing me out. This is my last essay. All I need to do is write it. And I just can't. I can't focus. Like, I sit down and I just... oh. Hello guys, it is a few days since I last spoke to you. It is now Monday. It is Monday number 3 and we are having a clear out. Basically, I am really struggling doing my essay in the house. I feel like because I don't have that divide between like the kitchen table and the workspace, I'm really just not getting into it. So we're gonna give this place a little tidy and this is gonna become like my new library. Join me in my new workspace. I'm feeling a lot better here. Basically, I decided that the whole trying to work from the kitchen table or the dining room table was not working for me. I feel like I definitely need that work-home divide and it just wasn't happening. So we've made a change. Mum and I spent this morning clearing out the conservatory and this is actually working quite well. I have had 2.5 very productive hours and I'm feeling a lot more positive. This change is definitely what I've needed. Today I managed to kind of take all of my notes and quotes and references I've been gathering over the last little while. I put them into a somewhat more like cohesive, manageable order, and I've actually managed to get my kind of introduction to my literature review done. I now have 316 words that actually make sense when they're strung together, which is a huge advance on the 0 that I had this morning. So I'm happy. Today's been successful. This change was what I needed. Oh, I hope this is it now. I hope this is me like actually starting to get the ball rolling. So today it is Wednesday. It's Wednesday afternoon. I am just off my 3rd like online collaborate session that we've been doing with the tutors every week. I now just feel a little bit confused. Like, I thought I was on the right track. This morning I finished off my conclusion for my This morning I finished off my conclusion for my literature review. So that was like a very good achievement. Like, I finished the first bulk of my essay. But then I went on to that little collaborate session and now I feel like I don't know if I've done it right or not. So I'm gonna just spend like an hour, maybe an hour and a half this afternoon kind of going over my notes and looking again at my lit review. And then tomorrow I'm gonna start something new because I feel like there's no point in doing it right now. One of my main pieces of advice, and something that really helps me when I'm reading over my assignments or essays, is to read aloud. Not only does it help me get a better understanding of the points that I'm trying to make, but I feel like it also makes the punctuation a lot easier to understand, and you can check up on mistakes a bit better. And we're back. So today it is Tuesday the 14th of April. I have now entered week 4 of lockdown, which means week 4 of writing this goddamn essay. So this is what we're looking at so far. I've kind of laid it out, so I've got where my cover page needs to be, where my contents page needs to be. I've then done my introduction, which is more just kind of about background and then explaining the whole coronavirus situation. That means that it isn't done the way that it should be. Part A of our assignment is then a literature review, so I've done that. This is what I've been working on for the last kind of week and a half and doing all of my readings and stuff for. And then part B is where we were meant to like write up our inquiry that I didn't actually get to do because of coronavirus. So here I have kind of like the background and what I initially planned to do. I then need to do my paragraph on ethics, and then part C is the bit that's changed because of the coronavirus. Like I need to kind of do some different lessons and stuff here and do like a different discussion to what the people that have actually been able to do it will have done. And then obviously I've got like my word count, my references, and then like all the space for my appendices and stuff. But I feel like my assignment actually looks more like an assignment now, which is quite nice. So basically on Friday and then yesterday, I spent those 2 days kind of trying to figure out what part B and C entail, because that's the bit that's changed, and I was just trying to like wrap my head around what I had to do for each section. I feel like after yesterday I kind of have a better idea of what I need to do, and I kind of did the little introduction bit. Today I'm going to focus on the ethics and kind of try and get that bit signed off, and then it's just part C that I need to do. So fingers crossed that works. I'm going to get on my Forest app. I'm going to try and do like 2.5 hours today and get this ethics bit done. It is now 3 hours later, pretty much bang on. It's just gone 5 o'clock and I'm stopping right now primarily because my laptop's just crashed. I kind of like finished a section and then went to go and save my progress, and then that's when the spinning wheel of death showed up. So I'm just kind of keeping my fingers crossed that it did save before then. If not, tonight's going to be fun, but I'm going to need to take it inside, charge it back up, and just hope for the best. Although in saying that, I feel like I have made some relatively good progress with that ethics section. It's not finished, but I'm happy with the way it's going. I feel like I have a much better understanding of what is expected now. I'm just really hoping that I haven't lost some of it, because that would be pretty soul destroying, I'm not gonna lie. Another Wednesday means another Blackboard Collaborate session to see if I'm on track here. I really hope that I don't need to change anything again. I feel like every week when I go into this, I feel like I finally understood something, and then something that they say throws me off, and then I need to reconsider at least one part of what I was meaning to do.
Oh dear. I love technology. It's great fun. Imagine what it's going to be like if we start off next year online. We're all talking in lectures like this. It'll just be a bunch of field mice talking to a bunch of students.
I'm trying to speak.
Yay!
But better.
Sound like
We're so normal now.
Good morning guys, today it is Thursday and I am back in my little productive library space. I feel like the call yesterday didn't throw me off as much as what I thought it would, so I'm feeling cautiously optimistic. I want to see how much of part C I can actually crack on with this morning, because this afternoon I want to have a little like filming session. So as it stands, this is what my part C looks like. This is it, it's literally just the guidance. And let's see what I can get done by the time I pick you back up again. Ooh, 2 hours is done, and that was relatively successful. I'm feeling happy. I've managed to go through and choose the 2 lessons that I'm going to be analysing in my part C. I have literally typed them all up into this document and started doing their little like analysis bits as well. This is what we're dealing with now. So this is like in my appendices section, so it's like right at the bottom. But I've got a whole lesson plan for my lesson number 2, and I've got my whole lesson plan for my lesson number 1. So now, let's just scroll up here. When I get to section C, so I've selected the 2 lessons I'm going to be using, and now I just kind of need to evaluate them. Very happy. I am a happy chappy, so I'm going to save that, and I'm going to get on with the rest of my day. Yay, successful morning. Happy due date, guys and gals. Today is Friday, and it's actually the day that this essay was meant to be due until we all got our extension. So happy due date. So yesterday morning I managed to get all of my lessons typed up and I started doing the analysis bits on them. That's what I'm going to continue doing today. I'm going to need to get part C kind of rounded off, and by the end of today, if I have like a nice little kind of first draft of my entire assignment, I'm going to be so happy. And then that means next week I can just kind of check over it, make any little changes, and then get it gone. Cannot wait. Also, it's a lovely day today. Can you see this? Oh, would you look at that? Another day has come to an end, and has Holly been as productive as she'd hoped? No, she hasn't been. Today, not my best work. Every Friday, my brain just doesn't want to work. Like, I think I need to make Friday a new weekend day, because I do nothing on a Friday. Here we go again. Hopefully this is the last Monday that I'll look at this essay, because I can't be arsed. I'm determined to get this essay done. Last week I'd say probably wasn't as productive as I'd hoped, purely because I wanted to have like a finished first draft so that this week I could just kind of like go over and finalise things. But as always, Thursday and Friday were not as productive as what I had hoped. So I need to finish off part C today, and then hopefully I'll be back on track. That's the plan.
So I hopped back on my Forest app and got cracking with part C. Now, part C is concerned with the evaluation of the 2 selected lesson plans. So as you can see, I'm just going back and forward between my appendices. I am highlighting the parts that I'm concerned with, and then I am analysing them up in the actual essay itself.
Okay, I am just back from having my lunch, and I'm going to attempt to do a little bit more work this afternoon. I kind of made up my mind this week that I'm going to try to do at least 2 hours every morning before lunch, because that is when I'm most productive. And then if I'm feeling motivated or I have some like spare time or whatever after lunch, I'm going to give it my best shot. Because as you guys are most probably aware from watching this video, I work so much better in the morning. So if I do 2 hours every morning guaranteed, then that should hopefully see me to the end of this assignment, and then anything on top of that is just an extra. So I'm going to do maybe an hour and a half more, just depending on how I get on. Will part C be finished by the end of the day? I bloody well hope so. Alrighty, an hour and a half-ish later, and I think we have some form of initial first draft here. There are still bits that I need to add in my appendices, and I've not done my references yet, but I feel like it looks more like a normal assignment now, like everything's kind of in the right place, I think. And whether it is or whether it isn't, I don't actually care anymore, because my laptop's on 6% and it's about to die, and my brain's not going to take much more either, so I'm going to leave it here and hopefully make some more progress tomorrow. So yesterday my goal was to kind of get all of my sections finished so that I can go on to kind of editing it and improving it. I feel like I still need to do some bits on part B, like see, looking back at it compared to the other 2 sections, I don't think I've kind of worked my evidence in enough or anything like that, so I'm probably going to spend this morning trying to improve part B and then see where that takes me to. So throughout the last few weeks, whenever I've been on those like video calls with my like uni people, what are they called again? Tutors. I've been making notes with like what they've been saying about what we're kind of expected to do. So I'm going to kind of run through all of these notes and see which bits relate to part B and try and improve that first. I feel like it's just got to that point that there's so much information just flying around in my head and on all of these pages. Oh, I just want it done. Right, do you know what? I actually can't see in my usual seat, so I'm moving. Also, I apologise about like all of these disgusting spots all over my camera. I don't know what's happened to it. They're all like under the lens and I don't know how to fix that. So, yeah. And there we go. That was 4 very productive hours done today. I am very happy with myself. Part B is now so much better. So much so I now feel like I need to go back and like redo all of part A and part C, but that's not today's problem. Guess who's back? Back again. Hollie's back. Why am I so full of energy right now, considering that literally half an hour ago I struggled to get out of my bed? What's just happened? Anyway, welcome back to the study zone. Today it is Wednesday. I have my online group call thing with my tutors later, but before then I want to get a kind of good grip around this entire assignment. So yesterday part B got the special treatment and today I think part C needs a little bit of tweaking. So that's what I'm going to do this morning. I'm going to have a read through it all from the start to kind of see how it flows and then start adjusting part C. And I think that should take me up to lunchtime and then I'm going to go on to the group call with my tutors. So yeah, I'm feeling a lot better now that part B is fixed. Like, I mean, who knows if I've like fixed it or just made it worse, but in my head it seems like it makes more sense. I feel like we're finally getting there. My goal is to get this off by the end of the week, and at this current moment in time that seems doable, but this could all change by this afternoon. Also guys, I just want to say I downloaded this Forest app to help me like kind of stay focused when I was doing my essay, because that was what I struggled with most starting this, was just focusing, being at home. And honestly, look at this, where's my forest? I've got so many trees. Look how many trees I've planted this month. I'm so proud of myself. Guys, it is an hour and a half later and I have not stopped. I have been going like an absolute trooper here. I've read through my entire assignment pretty much and I've kind of made some changes. I've edited a few bits and bobs to try and get my word count down. I'm still trying to do that with the discussion at the end though. I feel like that's the bit that's just a bit rambly. So I'm still working on kind of improving that and like tightening it up. But what I have done is, as I've been going through my assignment, I've been highlighting all of my references yellow and all of my links to appendices in blue, because that's the bit that I've not really done yet. As you can see, like, I don't have any references. So as I've been reading through it and making sure that everything makes sense, I've also been highlighting references so that I don't miss one when I'm making my reference list. I find this so helpful because until I started doing this, I really struggled with like referencing and it just seemed like such a chore, whereas this makes it a whole lot easier. I've also been highlighting the appendices so that after my little break I can go back and make sure the colours that I've highlighted actually match the specific bits of my appendices, because I've done that before and realised I've just highlighted the completely wrong section. Okay, we'll go back to 60 minutes and plant.
On a scrap bit of paper, I then went through and just made a note of all of my appendices, the colours and which parts they should actually match up to, just to make sure that where I've said Appendix 3 is my ethics checklist, in my appendices that's actually the case.
And here we go lads, it is the moment of truth. Has all of my work been in vain for the last week? Let's hope not. Let's hope that this is a good call and I come out of it happy. Okay guys, that was like somewhat reassuring. This It's exciting. I think I'm near the end of this thing now. Like the tutors were being like very reassuring about how they're aware that everyone's not working to their full capacity right now, and they were saying about how like it gets to the point that you are just sitting there and second guessing everything that you've said, which I think is where I'm at right now, to be honest. And they were like, there needs to come a point where you're just like, okay, do you know what, enough's enough, and submit it. And I think I'm at that point. There we go. So our final job of the day is to take these little notes and kind of cross-check them against what's on here, and then we're done. I've just done another hour out in my library, and I've added 2 more trees to my forest. But in that time I've managed to kind of go through, check all of my appendices and make sure that they all match up. I then went through and deleted all of the blue highlight bits because that's now finished, and I've done my table of contents as well. So that means tomorrow all I need to do is finalise my references page, put in my final numbers for my table of contents, and then that's me. Also, could we address the fact how red my face is? That conservatory is getting hotter by the hour, and we are back for the last time. I am determined. I've kind of made up my mind that this essay is getting sent off today. I'm not going to dwell on it anymore. Like, I was thinking about what the tutors were saying yesterday and stuff, and it is at the point that I'm just constantly like second guessing myself every time I read through it, and it's not worth it. I'm just going to submit it and it's going to be done. So before I do that, however, I need to do my references, so that is the job just now. So if we look at my assignment here, you'd have seen yesterday I went through and basically like all of the references that I need to put into my reference list I've highlighted in yellow, and my reference list currently doesn't have one full entire reference on it yet. Like, these are just things that I've been adding as I've been going along, but the rest of them are all here anyway. Like, when I was going through initially and reading through different articles and stuff, I was taking notes of them all here. So like all of my references and the dates are all on here correctly that I've then put into my essay. So it's not going to be like a massive job of having to try and find all of the references from scratch. I think there's a few that I'll need to find that I added in part way through. And we'll put another hour onto forest and begin.
So as you can see here, I am just checking what reference I need from my essay and then finding the reference and moving it across from my notes page onto my essay reference list. I just love how satisfying this time lapse is.
Okay, so referencing is done. That gets a big tick. But because I have been putting in additional references, that's taken up more lines, so it's thrown out the formatting of the rest of it. So I'm now going to alter the line spacing and kind of make sure that everything matches up to like a proper page, and then put that into my table of contents. See, this is the bit of writing an essay that I actually really enjoy. Like, I enjoy just sitting and formatting it because I feel like it's very satisfying and it's kind of an easy task to do, but it makes it look so much better. So that's what I'm going to do now after I open the door, because it's just got really, really hot in here. Ooh. Got the mummy on the reading. Does it make sense?
Yeah, it does make sense.
Okay guys, we are actually done. Like, I've just gone through and counted up all of like the words that count towards the word count. It is 4 words under the maximum word count, but we're done. Look at this. And that is what 40 pages and over 10,000 words of work looks like. So I've now saved it as an entire new document, but I also like to save it as a PDF. There we go. So I now have my PDF version down here, and this is the one that I will submit online. Okay, I've just been called for my lunch. We will resume when I return. I might go and put my laptop on charge actually, so that I know that it's not going to crash. Okay, we are back from lunch. I'm just uploading this assignment right now. This is my last ever assignment. Like, this is the last time that I'm using Turnitin. Okay, right. 40 pages. All there. It's definitely the PDF. Submit to Turnitin. Oh, it's gone, it's gone, it's gone, it's gone. Submission complete. Ah! That's me. I've just submitted my last uni assignment. What? How on God's green earth did that happen? Like, that's it. I really hope it's right. It's kind of a bit of an anticlimax, isn't it? Can't even go to the pub. That is us. That is it. That's it. All of this stuff. All of it. No longer required. Winnie, that is it. That is us. We're done.
Winnie, we're dead proud of her.
We're done.
Woohoo!
Winnie's already confirmed that she's not interested. And with that comes the end. I have literally spent all day since finishing my essay, reading my book, lying in the sun, and doing absolutely nothing. So I'd say that today's been a relatively successful day, guys. I'm not going to lie. I am so happy that that essay is done. And the time is now 6:15. We're going to make some pizza for dinner, have some beers, and then I've got a big Zoom call this evening. So yeah, what a great day. This video was something a little bit different. It's a side of uni that I never imagined having to share on my YouTube channel, particularly with it being my last essay, but here we are. If you guys did enjoy this video, please do give it a thumbs up, and I will see you very soon in another one. Goodbye!